the cloud. All right, hello everyone, welcome. My name is Kristen Tanner and I'm your CSTA Oklahoma president. And tonight we're excited to welcome you to a special virtual hands-on PD session with Chibitronics. I saw their presentation at a CSTA conference a couple of years ago and I thought it was so cool, and we've been trying to figure out a way to get them to visit. So really excited to have Susan join us and have you all join us. If you ordered a kit in advance, make sure you've got your kit handy. You'll also need some scissors and some tape and pencils and paper. And if you weren't able to order a kit, you can order one at a later date. And Susan will actually be sharing some information about how you can participate in some more in-depth professional development through Infosys this summer. So I'd like to thank Tulsa Regional STEM Alliance for helping to pay for the cost of the kits, and thank Susan for spending time. She's on the East Coast, so it's even later for her. And thank all of you all for giving up your time at the end of a very long week, I'm sure, and a long day. So we really appreciate you joining us for this professional development. This will be recorded and posted on our YouTube channel later. So if you need to go back and watch something again, you can do that. And depending on your view, if you want to see where it says Chibitronics team, where she's got her document camera, if you want to see that bigger, you can do a side by, you can change your view up in the corner and it will say side-by-side speaker. So then you'll be able to see her screen share large and her document camera large, if that's helpful for you. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and I'll be watching the chat. But without further ado, I'm going to toss it over to Susan.
Thank you. I am so happy to be here. And I do want to say, if you guys have suggestions about how to make this presentation better when I'm using both the document camera and the screen share, and you're seeing my face maybe twice, that seeing my face at all isn't totally necessary, but it is what it is. But I will take suggestions. You guys probably have used Zoom enough lately with your kids and whatever to be experts better than me. So let's get started. The kit that Kristen was able to get for you comes in this box, and you can, if you open your box, we're gonna actually play really quickly, or get playing quickly. I'm going to open the box, and in the box you're going to find an adorable little sketchbook. You guys are going to use your sketchbook. I'm going to use my whatever you call this board. But don't throw the box away, because I don't know if you can see, but if you look at the top of the box, it says hack this box with lights, and it gives you an idea of how to do that. It's kind of fun. But I'm going to set my box over this way. And before you open, let's see, I'm not going to open this guy, but inside this envelope, there's a little plastic container that's holding 2 batteries, and this is one of the 2 batteries. It's a CR2032. You can call it a pancake battery, a watch battery. We call them the CR2032, so we're kind of specific. If you look at the top, the shiny side, you can see that there's a plus sign on there, and if you flip it over, you can see that there isn't anything written on the back. That's the negative side, and that's important information to know. We'll talk about that in a little while. And of course, my phone rings. I should just turn my phone off. I'm so sorry. Okay, so you also have 2 binder clips, and I'll show you the second reason why you have binder clips. But the first reason is, if you open up your copper tape and you start pulling copper tape off, hold on, I'm going to show you what I do to make it not do what I'm going to show you it will do. It will look like this. Oh, hold on. It will quickly become spaghetti. And we don't want to use our copper tape from the spaghetti version if we can help it. So what I'm trying to, I'm trying to get up my spaghetti. So there, that's what happens to the roll if you don't figure out a way to hold it down. And my favorite way is with one of the binder clips. It's not why they're in there, but using things for different purposes is kind of a cool way to go. Okay, so we talked about the binder clip, the copper tape, the battery, and the book. And those are the things that you need out of one of each of these things you're going to need for our first circuit. There are two more things I want to show you before we get going in the book. One is I'm going to get my spaghetti piece of copper tape. And I'm going to show you that this stuff is just very, very similar to aluminum foil. I can cut it with my scissors, but I can also just tear it. And when I tear it, it's almost easier to tear when you're going to get started. You get this rough tear. And what I do to start the copper tape, and you don't need to do this yet, but I want you to see that I can take my finger and I can just tap on this copper and the paper begins to pull away. And I'm not gonna pull this all the way back. I'm just gonna pull it back enough to get started. And we will get started in just a minute. There's one more thing I want to show you. I was practicing this at the very beginning to make sure I kind of had it in the screen. This is a piece of washi tape. Painter's tape will do, and what I'm going to show you is how to make a mitered corner with a copper tape. And this is a way you go around corners, and you'll see in a few minutes the corners that we will be going around. If you want to go, I should have a piece of chalk here. If you want to go up and then to my right, I'm going to go up and then I'm going to turn it in the opposite direction to the left, or my left, and make that little fold and then push down on that fold in a neat way. It doesn't have to be neat, but I'm trying to be neat. And there you go. You've got a mitered corner. Now, the reason you want that is when you hook this up in a circuit, the electricity is going to, or the electrons are going to follow this path around a complete circuit. Right now, we don't have a complete circuit, but I can make one just about. And I'm coming around this way. Now, I would have the battery in here and then the LED there. If you cut that tape, you're short circuiting your circuit. That was kind of a mess to show, but this is what I want you to see. If you're using, there's another kind of conductive tape that I'll talk about in a little bit, which is more forgiving than the copper tape, but just be aware that if you tear your tape, there are ways to fix it, and kids will, and new people, learners will eventually tear their tape. There are ways to fix it, but this is the way to do it without having to fix anything. So I'm just going to remove this. And I'm going to ask you to go to page, I think it's 20. I can turn the pages right. Page 20. Okay. Can you see that okay? I can zoom in a little bit. Does everybody see the page 20, the diagram or the template? Thumbs up, yep, that's it. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take that piece of tape and start here and come down, make a mitered corner and make another mitered corner, go up and stop right where that gray line ends. Then you're gonna start a new piece of copper tape and go from here, there, make a mitered corner and turn and stop within that circle. Once you do that, and we will do this together. I'm going to do this on a template. Once you've got your tape laid, you're going to fold this over. And basically what you're doing is making a battery sandwich. You will put the battery right in here. And right now we have an open circuit. To close that circuit, we would put the LED here, or yeah, we would put the LED here to connect or to close the circuit. So the electricity goes from here down around through there, lights the light, comes back, goes under the battery and back, and the light lights. Okay, so let's do that together. I'm going to use my template, and I'll show you where you can get these templates so you don't have to buy books for every kid. Not that I don't want you to have tons of money to do that, but I work with an awful lot of Title I schools. So I have no expectation that there is money to buy these little cute little books for every kid. They're kind of a nice Christmas present if you're buying it for one. So I'm going to take the tape and lay it down. And if you look at my tape, you can see that it's all kind of bent and crinkled. I'll show you what I do with that in a minute. Not that it matters that much. I'm going to make a mitered corner here by turning away. I pull the paper back a little bit and come back in the direction I want to go. Again, turn away. Hold the paper back a little bit more. And I finish off the first. This is called a trace. And I stop right there. And yes, you can use your scissors, but I cheat. I'm using my fingernail and I just pulled that right off of there.
Do you want us to do this now, Susan?
Yes, yes, everybody get going. My bad, Kristen, thank you. So while you're putting your first trace down, I'm going to tell you that when the light lights up, what you do is you unmute yourself and you go, ta-da! Okay, you don't have to, but it's kind of fun. That's what we tell the kids, and they love showing off. Not that I don't love showing off. Yeah. So I'm going to start my second trace.
Could you show us how to do the mitered corner again when you do that part?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So.
Without wearing it?
Yep. So you see that I have come across the top. Yeah, you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. And I want to go down. So instead of going down to begin with, I'm going to stick my thumbnail right in a diagonal line and pull this back. Is my hand in the way? I pull it in the opposite direction. Now you can see, because I stuck my thumbnail in there to make that diagonal line, I've got a very neat little fold. They totally do not have to be neat. It just needs to not be torn. And then I fold back down to where I want to stop. And I'm going to use my scissors this time. And I do want to get this all the way down to cover that gray line. There's a reason for that. I'll show you in a minute. And I may not have come down. Oh, there we go. Okay. So what I'm going to keep talking, but ask questions. I see a lot in the chat. I hope that you guys are okay.
Yeah, it's me. It's
okay.
Me putting in the sign in. No one's got a question yet. But if anybody does have a question, feel free to unmute yourself or put it in the chat.
If you see what I'm doing, I'm taking my scissors and I'm flattening out that copper into a really nice smooth line. It is not necessary most of the time, unless you're problem solving and you're making sure that there are no cuts. I'm just doing it because, well, it's pretty when it's all nice and flat.
What if my corner is not flat and it's ugly? Will it still work?
Probably,
Okay.
long as you didn't cut it.
Okay.
I've done this a lot, so I can make nice, pretty corners and all that stuff. But let me tell you, okay, you see how I said you make a battery sandwich by folding this over? When I first looked at this template, I said, so why do you need 2 batteries? It took me forever to figure out that you don't need 2 batteries. It's just 1 battery. You just do this. But, so yeah, there's a lot of learning that goes on. A lot of, yeah, figuring things out. Now, I can put my battery in here and take a binder clip, and this is way too big. This binder clip is not the right size, but I'm using it anyway. It'll work. And that's what's supposed to hold the battery in there. I'll tell you what I like to do, and if you're in high school or middle school where you know the kids aren't going to swallow the magnets, what did I do? I've got these little tiny neodymium batteries that I just adore, and I can put, I'm sorry, not battery, magnet. I can put one there, and I can put one here under it, and it's going to hold. Oops, it went to, yep, there. It's going to hold my battery in place. So I don't suggest using these little magnets with younger kids. I have made circuits like this and more with kids all the way down to 3rd, 2nd grade, maybe even 1st grade. I would definitely not use these magnets with, yeah. Okay, so now the circuit is almost closed. Oh, you know what I forgot to tell you that you need to take out of your box? The LEDs. So I am pulling off one of my blue LEDs, and this is, I'm gonna make sure that the paper's off the back. The paper should come off the back on the ones that you have. These are, these were mistakes. And so I got sent a whole lot of mistakes, but if I push this down and I turn this on, it should turn on. That's never good when, okay, I probably shouldn't be using that. There we go.
So
can you see that it's lit?
Yes.
All right.
Say
So
ta-da.
I didn't say ta-da because I'm not happy with the way this is lighting. Ta, I'm just going to say ta because the da will come when I can let, yay, look at Barbie. Ta-da, Barbie. Yay. I'm going to move my fingers now. Okay, yeah.
mine only works if I hold it down. Ha, ta-da.
Hey, Jeremy said ta-da. Okay, hold it. So you see how I'm holding mine down? I'm pressing and pressing and pressing and pressing. I'm going to count to 20 in my head. It should work after I get to 20.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, count out loud because I'm doing it too. Okay.
Sorry.
It's better. It's better. It's flickering a little bit, but yours should
Mine's
not
not
flicker.
working.
Yours should be working well. The conductivity on these B grades are kind of stinky, and I shouldn't be using them to show you guys how awesome these are.
Well, mine's not staying on unless I push on it still, even though the 20 went by.
Okay. So let me show you a way to make sure that it works. Although very rarely do we have them that don't work unless they're,
Maybe I didn't have my tape long enough. I don't know.
It did. Oh, you know what? Okay, so I said I was going to show you something, and that might be part of my problem. I'm going to take this off. Okay, come off. Get off of there. All right. You see how that tape just comes right to the bottom?
Oh, yeah.
Can you see that there's a gold band along the bottom here? That's the positive side. The negative side is the pointy end. And that gold band at the bottom should be touching this bottom part in a very solid way. This is a stinky LED. I'm getting rid of this. You guys shouldn't be having any problems with your LEDs. Like
Okay, it's working now. I think it was because mine was like my tape was a little bit folded over on itself on the end.
Okay.
So now it's totally staying lit. I put
Yay.
it off and put it back. So that, yippee, ta-da.
So let me tell you about what's going on these stickers. They have little teeny weeny micro pieces of metal coming out the back. And these bad ones that I'm trying to use to show you, not a good idea. The paper doesn't come off the way it should. So when I pull this off, it should work. This is a different LED. And you can see, I'm hoping you can see the gold on that sticker. And like I said, you got to make sure that you have enough copper tape down there at the bottom. Well, that one was working better there for a second. I might just not have enough tape down there. So let me show you what I can do. You know, I don't want to show you how to fix this here. Well, yeah, I can. I find my scissors. Here they are. So where I have whoop, I just knocked off the document camera. Where I have kind of messed up is right here. And so I'm going to take another little piece of copper tape. What happens if when you're trying to do the mitered corner, your tape breaks? Okay, watch this. I'm going to show you that. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break my tape here because it's going to be easier to see. So, all right, if we're talking specifically about the mitered corner, I'm going to just kind of break this. Oops. Yeah. Okay. So even if I take this, I lost me. Okay. Even if I take this and lay it down and put this across it, the sticky on the back of that tape is not conductive. So what I have to do is take another piece of tape and kind of fold it on itself. And this is why you need the Scotch tape. You're making a little bridge. So I'm going to put you want metal to touch metal. Let's see if I can get my internet connection is unstable. That's not good. Can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Oh, good. I'm just going to tape this down, and that should make this work. There we go. Well, there we did for a second. I wonder if it's because I'm using the magnet. I don't think it's the magnet. It is working. So I think it's up here that's not working. So I have it on. You can see that it's on. So now what you do is you take page 21 and fold it over so that you have not 24, but 22 laying on top of your light like that. Can you see that? The next thing you do, here we go, it's finally staying on, is draw your own. I don't know if you want to go ahead and draw your own at this point, because I would like to show you some more circuits. So talk to me, guys.
Let's go. Draw some more. I mean, not draw, but see some more circuit or do some more circuit.
This is where the art comes in, and what I'd like to do is show you a little bit of what I am on the wrong screen. Okay, let me go over here. Let's take a break, and you guys ask questions. I'm trying to get back to yeah, here we go.
So I have a question. Where can you buy these little stick-on LED lights?
Let me show you. So you can see my screen. This is chibitronics.com. And if you hit shop, you can go there. I'll show you real quick because I'm not a salesperson, but you see LED lights. There are all kinds of packs of different lights. And then there's the prototyping LED, which that's 50 in a container for 20 bucks. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, if that's okay. I also want you to see the connectors and materials. There's copper tape. One of the things that we're talking about doing, and we probably will do, is replace the copper tape with this conductive fabric tape, because it's much more forgiving. Rather than having to make a mitered corner, you can kind of just squish down the corner and it will work. Actually, we use these little fabric tape patches as band-aids. We will be getting more in. I just bought them all. But this is, let me go back here. Okay, so let me go back to, that's not where I want to go. I want to go back to, here we go. Okay. So right on the front of the website, there's this little YouTube video that actually shows you what I just showed you. And you're not hearing it, but she does talk. And the parallel circuit is the one we'll do next. But what I would like to do is go into education and show you that the template that I just used, instead of using the book, I found here under templates and downloads. And you can click on one of the circuits and get a page full of templates. And on the back are the directions. So on the back of mine, there you go. You can see that I just did one on one of those templates, and then there's this. So rather than buy a book for every kid, you can just use this. I also have a Google slide presentation that you can use that will take you through the book.
Information about that.
My Google.
I found something else.
Do
you want to know what is used for slide presentation?
No, thank you, Google. Sorry, I've got my never mind. Google's talking to me. So to me, this is saving a lot of money. I'm going to go back to education. The other thing that I want to point out is this educator's guide, which is incredible. It's brand new. So brand new that I'm not sure that I can tell you a whole lot about it because I'm learning. But if you, you have to download this, and I don't think I have it downloaded on this computer, so I'll have to switch over to show you what's there. If we go back, so talking about buying something, if you go to educator discount, you fill this in and you get 20% off your email, or you will be in there. And if you receive our educator email newsletter, you find out about things like the PD that we're providing, or we're, I shouldn't say that, let me say it right. Emphasis Pathfinders is hosting and giving scholarships to, so that you can attend free a 40-hour session of Chibitronics. There are other choices as well, but the best one is going to be Chibitronics.
Susan, someone was asking, is it only for public schools or are private school teachers allowed to attend that?
Public schools.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried to get private schools in on this one and they did not let me do that. So they really are looking for Title I. However, you don't have to be Title I. You can be a charter school, but not a private school. However, if you're interested in learning more how to order supplies, I'm looking for it here. Join our community, get training. There it is. You can ask, and just like I'm doing here, I can come in and teach a group of teachers if that's something that you'd like us to do. So there is that. The other thing I want to show you here, well, there's a lot of good stuff here, but I do want to take you over to how to. Okay, good question. Dale says for his kids that lack dexterity, can he tape the battery down? Let me show you here how you would do that. Okay, so if you are taping the battery, let me unmagnetize my battery. Because you need to have that copper touch the bottom and the top. If I tape this down, I'm going to tape it sort of kind of like this. And actually, this is another way not to use a binder clip, and I've done this before because I really don't like binder clips. You want to make sure you have enough, okay, and there's enough battery showing for that to work. I'm still going to put another piece of tape on the other side, but it gets, you have to, this is called engineering. You are working with the materials that you have, and I'm going to cut a little tiny piece of, oops, it stuck to the scissors. All right, let's see if that works. I cut some tape off and I might have put too much tape on there. Yeah, yeah, I think it'll work. I know it'll work there. There we go. I just have a bad LED.
I think, Dale, you just have to make sure that some of the battery is still exposed so that it can touch the copper tape.
Exactly. You need metal to touch metal, including the battery, and the tape is an insulator, right? This is really good for teaching electricity because if you are using the correct terminology, then you talk about conductivity, you talk about insulation, and all kinds of, I mean, you can go very deep into that. And I was talking about that educator's guidebook, Educator's Guide, that there is a huge vocabulary list in there that's wonderful, that you can share with the kids as needed. And it really depends on which way you're going. If you're going science, or if you're going science and art, or if you're going totally art, the vocabulary will depend on what you're working on. So I'm going to take this battery off of here.
Can we try another circuit? I know a couple people were having trouble and they weren't successful the first time, so we want to give them another opportunity.
Yeah, well, you want to make the same circuit, or you want to try a different circuit?
I think a different one. Yeah,
so let's go to page 34. This is a parallel circuit. The first one we did was a simple circuit. And if you put another LED in there, it could be a series circuit. But this one I use parallel circuits more than anything because I connect a microcontroller here, and I forgot to show you G's video. Have you guys seen? Okay, let me do this. Put this tape down, right? You're gonna follow these gray lines, and you're gonna leave the correct amount of space because the footprint of the little LED sticker is there, and you see you need to have that space between the positive and the negative. All right, is everybody ready for that? And in the meantime, I'm going to find this video that it's actually on here under the blog, I believe. Wait, let me see. It's under gallery. Yes, gallery. Okay. So the woman who created this, her name is Chi. That's Jieqi. And I'm going to make this full screen. Oops, wrong one. Here we go. This is the one we want, full screen. Come on, computer. I don't know why maybe it's because I have this on full screen. Let me try it this way. That is too weird. I can't get that to play full screen. Am I hitting the wrong one? Nope, that's it. Well, as small as that is, I hope you can see it. Those are dandelions, and the black India ink is on top of the butcher block paper. The LEDs are behind, and they are being programmed to turn on and off to make it look like the flowers bloom, and then they go to seed. And there is a microphone in the back that's going to pick up, I guess I should say, that's going to happen when somebody sees a puffball, especially if they like bees, they blow on that little puffball to make the seed go out. And what's happening is there's a microphone connected to a microcontroller, and we're going to see all that in the back. And you guys are going to make a parallel circuit. Are you working on making a parallel circuit? G is going to pull back this paper, and you're going to see the extensive highway system of copper tape that she has laid down. So those are all parallel circuits. The circles go around where the flowers are going to be, and inside the circle, inside each one of those circles is a microphone so that she can make the sound of the puff, right? The microphone picks up the sound of the puff and tells the microcontroller, which is the black rectangle at the bottom, that now you need to make these lights turn on. Now that's a whole different level of Chibitronics, and if you take the class, you will be getting the microcontroller that actually will help you do this. We're not going to do microphones, so there are other ways to turn that on and off. And this video that you're seeing is what made me decide that I wanted to learn how to do this, and I wanted to take this to every kid in our school system. I retired in 2019 from Prince George's County Public Schools, which has 200 schools. My objective was to take this to every one of those 200. I didn't quite make it, but we're still working on taking this to as many schools as I possibly can through you guys. So I think that's really cool. That's under the gallery. There's some more things in the gallery that you can, let's see, I think this one's really fun. Well, there are a lot of them that are a lot of fun, but this is something that you can do. It's called Ticky Town because the ticks are all over the dog.
Ta-da!
Yay! I hear a ta-da. Who was that? Kristen?
Sherry.
No, Sherry.
Here, I show you.
Yay! Yay! You got 3 of them. Yes.
I didn't know they were colored. I was thinking I only have white when you said a blue one.
Okay. So if you look very closely at those little stickers, you're going to see this is a really great time to do this. If it's white, it has a W. If it's blue, it has a E, right? And
Yeah, I need new glasses.
so do I. Over to the side, there's a little, let me look at mine. A little rectangle, a little silver rectangle, and that's actually includes a resistor. If you use the through-hole LEDs, and I have some of those right here. Here's the through-hole LED. I'm going to put it on my book so you can see it. Wait. Whoop, move this around to where I am actually showing you. Can you see that? This is called a gumdrop or a through-hole. These are very cheap, and this is what I started teaching my kids with. Okay, it's a little more difficult to use. The long leg is the positive, the short leg is the negative. There are other ways to see this, to figure out negative from positive, but I know, this does not have a resistor built in, so you would have to add resistors if you want warm colors and cool colors to work together. So if you're using these, okay, here's my workaround, here's my cheat, and I know I work for Chibitronics and I should be being a good employee, and I am a good employee. I would take a white LED like this, if you don't have resistors, and take a marker and color the the gumball the color that you want the light to be, and voila, you have every color of every marker that you can come up with, right? Okay, I didn't just say, yes, I did just say that.
That is an awesome hack because I've tried to do multicolored projects with the kids and then they don't work because the electricity is not the same. I did not even think about that.
And if you put a resistor in it, and putting a resistor in there is not that hard. But I don't do it. I do what I just said. I just color the LEDs the color I want. Yeah. I have resistors here, but we're not going to do that. So anybody else have a ta-da on the
Ta-da!
Yay, Barbie! I know more people have ta-das. I saw some in the chat earlier. Oh, Kristen, thank you for putting that link in there. Okay. Now,
can you explain why you would want a parallel circuit or a simple circuit? What would be like the project that they would want, or?
Okay, so I'll tell you some of the projects I've done. Ta-da! S. Kirsten says, mine worked, Ladonna, yay. Okay, you guys. This fits nicely into a Valentine's Day card or an Easter card, or and then you can just have this down and have it on all the time. Although in a minute, I will show you how to make it so that it doesn't have to be on all the time. Let me get out of here. It's distracting me. So this is the simple circuit. The parallel circuit allows you to easily put more than one LED in. If you put more than one LED in this, you would put one here, one here, one here. that would be a series circuit. Now, I don't know if you guys, any of you guys are old enough to remember, I do, the Christmas lights, that if one went out, they all went out. That's because they were put into a series, which is every one of those lights is part of the circuit. In a parallel circuit, you're sharing all along that parallel line so that you don't have to worry about all the lights going out if one of them doesn't work. Doesn't mean that you don't have to do problem solving if one of them doesn't work, but let me tell you, the problem solving these kids can do, I don't care who the kids are, when they start getting interested in doing this, they teach one another, they all kinds of stuff. It's just, it's mind-blowing what they do. So does that, Kristen, does that help?
Yeah, so one light, they can just do a simple circuit, but if they want to add multiple lights, they need to do a parallel.
I would totally suggest a parallel. There is one thing where we do the more lights than one in a simple circuit, but that's kind of an advanced thing. What I'd like you to do is, actually, you know what? We're going to make another simple circuit on page 44. Because just this, that was a very good, not page 44, page 42. No, not 42 either. It's page, sorry, I'll get there.
48.
Thank you. 48 is where the template is. So can you tell me what kind of circuit this is right here? If there wasn't a hole in it. Oh, come on, you guys. It's a simple circuit. It just doesn't look quite the same as what we did before. We just have another bend. And so if you find your book and you lay the tape here and you do the fold, and then right down here is what is going to be the on off switch. And as long as that's not touching to close the switch, the circuit up here, the circuit will be off. While you're laying the tape for this, I'm going to tell you a story. I had a youngster. There was a class of 30, and I swear this kid must have probably not gone to sleep until like 2 o'clock in the morning. He was always like a pain in the neck. Okay, not that I would ever call any of my students a pain in the neck, but he was a pain in the neck. And I finally just said to him, you know, you don't have to do this. You can just sleep if you want. And so he sort of did a couple of times. But when the kids started lighting up their lights, and we were actually making accordion books, which is in the Educator's Guide. And I have one here somewhere, but yeah, we won't talk about that today. When the kids were lighting up their stories, all of a sudden he wanted to do it. And he came to me and said, so how do you make it turn on and off? And I said, you know, these kids over here who need help, they've been working with me all along. Let me go work with them. You go figure it out. And darned if he didn't. This was the pain in the neck in the class, right? You guys all have had pain in the necks that did exactly the same kind of things, right? They just, I don't know, probably should be talented and gifted, or who knows, but I was so tickled with him. I brag about him all the time. I have a picture of him on my, we do a certification thing, and on my certification piece, he's front and center on my level 1 certification. When you get this laid down, this is where it starts to get really fun in this book. And by the way, all the directions and all the instructions and everything you ever wanted to know is right here in this little book. So where before you get to page 48, it talks about the DIY switch, do-it-yourself switch, and why it works. You see the battery, you see the LED. it talks about the open switch where the LED is off and a closed switch where the LED is on. Everything you need to know. And let me tell you what, I've tried to recreate the things that I've learned in here. And then I go back and look at the book and think, why in the world did I try to recreate this? So while you're taping, I'm going to show you something new that I don't think that it's on the website yet. Oops, wrong one. But if you're interested, I'm Susan at chibitronics.com. You can email me and I will share this. Eventually, we will have it up here. I'm going to my drive. Do I hear frustration now out there?
Oh, ta-da.
Oh, ta-da, yay, that's better.
Can I ask a dumb question?
No dumb questions. You knew I was going to say that. Go
I
ahead.
was going to ask it, but then I just tried it.
In the corner, down here in the corner, are you supposed to put a couple of thick layers of copper tape to make the switch?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Yep. You could probably put aluminum foil there too, because metal touches metal, but yeah. I don't know why I threw that in. It's just, yeah, so. Okay, I said earlier that I had a slide deck that takes you through this. So let me kind of show you what, if you decide you want to do this with your kids, you can use this. There's another way to do this too, but this presentation takes you through everything that, including the book. So you see, here we go. Phase 1, call to adventure, shows you everything that's in the book. Then you open up, then you continue, and this is the book. There are a couple of more things in here than what comes out in the book or shows up in the book. This is how batteries work, a TED Talk, which I just think is the coolest thing ever. This actually is a picture of the Z-axis tape that I was telling you about, that there's all the little pieces of metal that are in that sticky stuff. What happens is if you stick and unstick the stickers, that metal kind of gets worn away or dirty, and it doesn't light up the way you would want it to. And I didn't show you when I was frustrated with this guy not working. If I had taken that fabric tape, and that's exactly what I would do, because the fabric tape is, like I said, so much more forgiving than the non-conductive bottom of the only thing is it's a little harder to get the paper off the back. Other than that, this is the best stuff ever. The other thing is it's not near as pretty. Oh no, I'm pulling the paper off of the, nah. Let's see if I can get this to come off correctly. All right, you guys, don't pay attention to me while I'm struggling over here. We go. Okay, so if I took this little tiny piece of, can you see this? I'm not seeing it. You can see my, you can see what I'm showing you, right? What I'm cutting. So if that LED sticker, the sticky is not making it conductive anymore, I just put fabric tape on top of that. You could also put a the bridge, the copper bridge that we talked about right here. See how much better that light works? So it might have been the conductivity of those patches that was the problem originally, but the LED is going to work for a very long time. So I just repaired my sticker. And you know what, I can put, yeah, no, I can't, let me think about this. I can put this, I can share this slideshow. It's not a perfect slideshow, but I can put it in the chat. If I can find the chat on this setup here, bear with me. I know, I see that. Oh, there we go. I found the chat.
Susan, I wanted to mention to them, if they're wanting to get some of these materials like the stickers, I know, they're not reusable, so you would need a supply of stickers for your classroom. Tulsa Original STEM Alliance has 2 grants that you might be able to use to purchase materials for this. We have an after-school grant that's open right now, so if you were wanting to do this with kids in an after-school setting, you could apply for funds that way, or we'll also have a classroom grant that's opening up later in the year that you can get classroom supplies for STEM projects. So, write up a proposal. This could be a thing you ask for.
And that is totally awesome. And I want to say, if you have questions about what to order and how many to order and all that kind of stuff, I'm Susan at Chibitronics.com. I have done this with a lot of different kinds of classes for a lot of different purposes. So you can always email me. And that link that I just put in there is to that slideshow. So I love that we even have this slideshow, because as a teacher, I want them to be able to, teachers to be able to make this as easy as possible. So even here, where we're talking about how to make a mitered corner, it's right there. There's the tutorial right there. All right. How much time? Oh my goodness. No, wait. We still have another hour. Yes?
Sorry, I
Nope.
muted. Yeah, we're here till 7. So if people have, I don't know if you have other circuits you want to show, or
Yeah, we do.
People wanted some ideas for what they might, how they might integrate it cross-curricular with computer science and things like that too.
Okay,
So, yeah,
all right. So I'm going to stop sharing on this computer and bring up the educator's guide. Let's see, hold on. Stop share. I'm going to share on this computer. And this is, but it says I'm disabled, but you.
Oh, I need to give Chibitronics code.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay, you should be able to.
Awesome, okay. All right, so this is what happens with this educator's guide. A lot of work has been done, put into this thing, and I'm not sure that I have quite the understanding of why we're not letting this go out. Yeah, I don't even, let's just do it this way. You have to download this, and I'm gonna see if I can find where I downloaded it. I do have it in my somewhere. Good golly. Educators.
I think if you have it downloaded, then you can click in the chat. There's a little paper button. You can click on that and you can upload a document to it, and then other people can download it if you want to share it that way.
I'm not supposed to do that though.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I did save it as a Google, it's a PDF. You know what? I have it in a different place. I don't need to go there. I have it, or I could just do it the way I've got you guys. I have it right here. I have it here somewhere.
I'm scrolling through the slide deck you shared, and I love this, because they could just pick this up and start using this to help teach their students.
Exactly. So why is this not coming up? Sorry, guys. I have not figured out how to use this in a class yet. Educators, Chibi, here we go. I think here we go. Come on, come on. It's thinking. Maybe I have too many things open on my computer. I know, I just. Oh, I got it opening twice. Let me close this one. It's a lot of pages. Darn, guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to cheat and see if I can go here real quick while that's thinking about loading. Yeah, nothing's loading right now because I have too much open. Okay, Barbie, yes, the corners have been the hardest part. That's always the hardest part. And yes, perseverance. The kids do get it. I promise. I promise. And I'm not happy with this not opening. I'm going to close everything. And
I like how you showed at the beginning practicing with just some washi tape so that before they practice with the expensive copper tape. So that's
yes,
a great tip.
Absolutely. I don't like closing everything because I'm working on all this stuff. But why isn't this opening? You know what I can do? I can go, let's see if I can download it again. All right, I'm feeling really goofy here. Close the chat, go to, it's bothering me that screen is white, period. Chibitronics. Unresponsive. No, I didn't want to wait. I just wanted it to go there. Maybe I do have to close everything. So while you're waiting for me with this silly stuff, if you go to chibitronics.com, educators, and you sign up for a 20% discount, that is for you personally. So if you're buying stuff for your kids, otherwise the school system will go through. Oh, you know what? I should show you that too. I'm trying to see if I can get this. I know I have. Okay, let's try this. My computer is being crazy. Nothing's showing up. That's the problem. You see that? Everything is. I have a white screen of doom or something.
Dale,
Okay.
I was going to answer Dale's questions. I had the same question, Dale. So she said you can use aluminum foil, but what I did is I don't know if you can see that, I just put 3 pieces of copper tape there together in a row to make a little fat place in that gray box.
That's exactly right. And you don't have to do 3 if you're really good at getting it on the right place, but yeah, it's just a matter of making a really good spot so it can connect. My computer is just gone hooey. So I'm gonna stop sharing here and go back to the computer I was on before and see if I can just download this thing instead of worrying about using what I thought was my good computer. This is what you want to do. You want to go here, you want to go to educator discount and fill that in. I don't know if I can, you know.
You want me to share? I've got it pulled up on my computer.
You do, yes,
Yeah.
share it, yes, and I'll tell you where to go, please. My computer is just all hooey right now. Oh, okay, you're gonna sign in for the, oh no, that's me. Wait. Let me make this full screen. Are you doing the educator discount or did you pull up the,
I think, can you all see my page where it says Chibitronics educator discount?
yes.
Okay. And where did you want them to go?
Well, you have to sort of fill in all that stuff.
okay.
But what you want is the newsletter. Or,
Okay, fill that out and get the newsletter.
yeah, sorry guys, I really have not figured out the whole. Okay, wait a minute, wait. Go to Educator's Guide, the first thing on this list. There you go, download the guide. Jiminy Cricket. Sorry. Okay, so if you go to page 2, I think it, yes, table of contents. So there are 100, what did I say, 185 pages in this thing. It starts off with part 0. A lot of what I was telling you about, all the little hacks, all the little what is good to do in your classroom is right there in part 0. And then in part 1, you go to the circuit sticker sketchbook, and it goes through all of the circuits. If you go to the third thing in there, featured, wait, I'm sorry, up in part 1, the third link, Sheila Lee's Identity Project. This is an adorable project that she just did. Actually, you might recognize her because she does a lot with CSTA on the national scale. She's from, I forget where, Boston maybe, or, but she's got all of the what she did is all written right here. So if you want to use her idea and make it yours, it's all there. Now, I don't want you to have to go through the whole thing, Kristen. So the way to get back to the table of contents is click that blue link at the top. Yep. So then what all we talked about doing today was the part 1 circuit sticker sketchbook, and we have time to go through the other circuits, but the next thing is the programming part, and that is that's really where the coding comes in to bring it into your computer science curriculum. And this is where we're going to go in the class that we're doing this summer. This is where I like to spend most of the time, because this is really about getting your coding using make code. I can actually show you that if you want to take a little peek, or Kristen, you can click on it. Go down to yeah, there. And okay, I need you guys to tell me whether you want me to do this or not. Do you want me to go this way and let you finish the book on your own, or do you want to finish the book while I'm here? Kristen, can you take a poll?
Creating a poll is
okay, don't do a poll, but you guys can put your thumbs up with the
or put in the chat.
Go the way I want. Yay, Dale, ta-da. Go the way I want. Okay. All right. The way I want. I'm gonna go with make code. And this is why I like parallel circuits, because this is where we really get into, and I have a yeah, okay. So can you scroll down, Kristen, to their tutorials, but we're going to go down below that to Blinky. All right, and click on Blinky and open example. So what you're going to see is a simulator of the microcontroller. And I have my microcontroller right here. Hold on. I just was teaching a middle school class to use this today. So there's my microcontroller. And right now it's programmed to set D0 to on and then pause for 10,000 milliseconds and then set D0 off and pause for 10,000 milliseconds. Okay, Kristen, let's make it go really fast, that blink go really fast. So go up and click on the down arrow next to the 1,000 and do 200 milliseconds. And then go down to the bottom one and do the same thing. Okay, can you see the difference between the speed of the light? If you click on the gray, right, exactly. On the gray box, go all the way past the snail to the last single box by itself. Then you can show the kids the entire, yeah, the whole, you can explain. I just really love this simulator.
So do they write their code in here and then they download it onto this device and then?
Right, exactly. Okay. So this is what I know. I'm totally hijacking this class. So the microcontroller comes with this cable, and so it goes in there. That's a micro B, I don't know, whatever. And the USB cable is what powers it. And you can plug it right into your computer or into the wall or whatever. And I made it so that the light is just not blinking at all. Because I was gonna, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll actually, what I'll do is I'm gonna load, I have to go to make code though. I'm not.
I need to stop sharing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if I can even get to make code. That if my computer is being wacko, I might not be able to show you how to do this.
And they, at CSTA National Conference, they usually have some sessions by Microsoft, the Make Code Microsoft people. They've got lots of different things you could do with that. So if you're going to CSTA this summer, that might be something you want to look into.
I put in a presentation proposal and they didn't, unresponsive. I'm just getting, I can't do anything here. Except maybe restart my computer, and that's not what I want to do. Yeah, I can't. So basically all I can do is show you that there when the make code, and Kristen, go ahead and share your screen again if you still have that up there. Always something, right? So if you click on the upload button at the bottom, and it tells you to plug in your cable and your Chibi chip and then put the USB and the audio cables in. You don't have an audio cable to plug in, but that's okay. I'll just show you what happens. Then you push this little prog or programming button here until it turns red. And I'm not even showing you, there we go. And go ahead and hit ready. And I don't know if we're going to be able to hear her sound, but you're going to hear the audio file. If you don't hear it, Kristen hears it. Look at her face. That is right. It sounds like
terrible.
A cricket playing, I don't know, some kind of wacko crazy music. And basically it's that audio file that takes the code from MakeCode at makecode.chibitronics.com to the Chibi chip, and then you put a parallel circuit, and that's why I was flipping this over. So here is my parallel circuit, right? And if I hook this up so the pins are correct, I should be able to get a light to light something. I should be able to. I did earlier. Wait, I know what it is. The Chibi chip doesn't like the thickness of this board. So I ran the tape off the end and broke my Chibi chip. No, come on. Guys, I swear this works. Everything I am doing electronically today is like biting the bullet. I just lost my code. All right, never mind. It works, I promise. Golly, Kristen, don't fire me.
What kind of things might they like do with the programming aspect? What can they?
Okay, all right, that's a really good question. I'm going to share my other screen because that's the one that's working.
And I don't know if y'all noticed I know some of y'all teach high school, but there was a JavaScript. You can do block coding or JavaScript there in Make Code.
As soon as I get my share there. Share screen. Okay. And I'm going to go back to, actually, you know what we do? We use Flipgrid. Let's see if I can cheat and get in here really fast. Educator dashboard. Continue with. Yep, that's me. Yay, I actually got in. Okay, so this is the last summer's Pathfinders. And we started using Flipgrid to check and see what everybody's doing, and so everybody can share. Where did I go? This is a final project. Let's see what Holly did. You know what, I wasn't thinking about this. Radiator Springs. So she has a switch that makes those lights go on and off. But she's got the Chibi chip behind it. She even has artist. Yeah, I can't read it. I'm looking for a really fun one that, okay, this is pretty cool. At night, the runway lights are on. So he has programmed all of this, and there's copper tape under all of the paper. You can see some of it outside. He's got the lights in the airport lit. And then he has flashing lights to help them land. When the lights get bright enough, it turns to day and the runway lights go off. He has a light sensor connected to this so that, just like he said, when daylight comes, the light sensor senses it and turns off the runway lights. There is another one that I would really like to share with you. It's in a different presentation. You know what? It's in the Educator's Guide. So you can see how he did this. He's actually talking through this, but
how long do you think, like if someone was going to do projects like this with their students, is that like a 9-week project? Is it a semester?
I would say 9 weeks. if you want to shortcut it, you teach them to make a parallel circuit, and then you teach them that you take them right into the coding part. Let me go back out of the final thing. That's probably not the right one that I multi-threading scene. This is what I should have showed you. So hopefully Steve has shown yeah, Kristen, I should come back and show you this in a real presentation as opposed to doing this shooting from my hip, because this is not pretty.
We all have tech issues, so it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Well, in the Summer Institute, will they get to do some of the coding if they sign up for that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so here is an example of I don't know what, I don't know what she's doing, but that's multi-threading. So that's taking a whole lot of traces coming off the copper and using all kinds of programming and circuitry and electronics to make that scene work. Is there a student planning guide for this type of project? I believe that is in the education guide, educator's guide. I think all of these things are. All of the really good ones. I shouldn't say all the really good ones, but yeah. So here's the coding for the one that we were just looking at. So they're playing tennis. I have so many better examples, and yet me trying to figure out where they are right now is not working.
I'm wondering if people just seeing this, if this prompts them with like how you might integrate it into cross-curricular, if you teach something besides computer science, like what kind of projects is this sparking with you all?
Yes, I have several new project ideas for next year, Stephanie says. Again, I could come up with some of the things that I like to do. One of the things, and probably it talks about this in the proposal for the class that we're teaching this year. We create a paper city. So we use the origami piece to make the houses or the caves or the heliports when they're making a Martian city, and then they lay the tape down and do all kinds of really cool things. The idea is to bring that into social studies, so you can
that's what I was thinking. The direction, I can't remember which grade level it is, but directionals is one of the Oklahoma standards. So if they like built a model of their school or their town or their house and, maybe gave directions.
Right. Yep. I could see, or Jeremy says, I could see this in many ways. That there is a travel story, you can make a map and show the way. Yes. If you, the circuit that you just made where you turn it on and off by the flap, you can put multiple flaps in there so you can have them pick the right answer. And if the wrong answer is lit up with red and the right answer is lit up with green, or which comes first. I mean, there's so many things that you can bring in here. And I shouldn't be talking. I think I like the idea that Jeremy is sharing, and yeah, you guys share.
Jeremy made me think of that, like if you're doing a literature, like a book study, or like if we're doing Grapes of Wrath, and you could light up the trail that they took from Oklahoma to California.
So I mentioned the accordion book. there's a way to take a piece of 6 inches by 36 inches of I don't know, bulletin board paper, and you fold it 4 times and then you refold it so it's an accordion, and you do that twice so that you can put your traces under and your lights under, and then you can tell the story on the different pages of that accordion book. My colleague did a I am poem with that using Juliet. So Juliet from Romeo and Juliet talks about who she is on the first page. I'm 15 or 13 or however old she was, and I am a Capulet, and the whole thing. And it's beautiful because she uses the lights to light up the castle wall, the lights on the castle wall and all kinds of things. Again, I believe that's in the Educator's Guidebook.
I was thinking of like when a lot of kids in 2nd grade will make dioramas of like an environment, and then you, like at the zoo, when you go and push a button and it lights up, and you could have them push a button, it would light up the area, and they could talk about, the grasses or whatever it is.
Exactly. Okay, guys, I don't know that I know that I haven't used up all of the time. I lost my timer.
Oh, no, you're good. We still have some time if anybody, I know Susan's wrapping up her portion of the presentation, but if there's questions, Stephanie, or suggestions, Stephanie says that 3rd graders have been discussing Oklahoma, so lighting up the rivers and the highways, that would be really great too. What questions do you have about the product or troubleshooting or anything like that, while we have Susan as our expert on here, feel free to unmute yourself and just jump in.
Susan is totally not acting like an expert. I know. I'm so sorry.
Well, you definitely have taught it more than any of us have. So you know the tips and tricks of doing it with kids, at least. Sherry, did you have a question?
Oh, no, I was going to tell her she's showing us her calendar right now.
I am. You're right, I am. Well, you can see you're on the calendar.
I want to meet your doodle. That's all I'm thinking.
He's here, but
Stephanie was wondering if we would suggest the fabric tape for the copper tape, even if it's for beginners.
I would go with a fabric tape because it's more forgiving with the corners. I'm hoping that within the year, as beautiful as the copper tape is, and it is an art piece in and of itself, the fabric tape is much more productive for the kids. Let me share now that I have got this off my calendar, what I'm going to show you another. This is what I use to introduce the coding with, or what I do with kids. This is in the Educator's Guidebook. It has all the standards, or ISTE standards, and national, all that good stuff. And it starts off with a story starter and an illustration, and you can share your story and get them. And then they get into the coding part. So they learn how to just light an LED, and then they start uploading code. It takes them right through all that piece. This is what I was trying to show you, that you hit the prog button and then you hit upload. You can actually save the code and put the URL for your code in a Google Doc. So I love that, because if the code is not working or there's a problem, you can share the code with other students, using your projector and do some problem solving. I've done that with teachers and come up with some really good workarounds for our repairs or whatever. So it does take them through. Yeah, sorry, again, I went off track. I realized that that was sitting there, and I could share that with you. That's good for, actually, I did that with 5th graders, but it works all the way up if people have not used coding before.
And is that under the Educator Resources on the Chibitronics website?
Yes, actually it is. It is right here. Under education, under, yep, you found it already, yeah. Lesson plans. Hour of code storytelling activity. Oh, here's, you know what? I was telling you about this. Well, this is the whole presentation. Let's see if we can get to this is kind of a cool presentation. There's the accordion book. There's how to make an accordion book. But what I would like to do is get to the video of yeah, you guys will have to just kind of go in and look at it. There's a picture of the Juliet I Am poem. I probably should take you back in here. It is in very, the circuit sketchbook is in Chinese, French, German, Japanese, Spanish. If you go to events and workshops, you can go right to, and I promise guys, it's going to be better than what I'm doing. Emphasis Pathfinder Summer Institute. That's not the one. It's this one, 2022. You can register. This one's full. It just hasn't been taken off of the, but when you go into registration, you'll see all the dates that are available.
That's great. Are there any other questions from folks who are attending about grants or the summer workshop or anything else before we let Susan go and we can end a little bit early and you guys can have some time in your evening? This is the first time that we've done a virtual hands-on PD workshop like this. So really appreciate you joining us. And Susan, thank you so much. And we have all been there with the technology issues. So nowhere, I tell everybody, you know, I used to get so flustered and then I was literally on a PD with NASA engineers and they were having tech issues. I'm like, if NASA is having issues, then I don't feel bad anymore.
So last week we were just starting that illuminated story with the middle schoolers, and I'm coming in through Zoom, and as soon as we started, the power went out in the school, and yeah, so the teacher who was there with him called me on the phone, and I'm giving her the directions on the phone, and she's telling the kids how to go from, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Way to pivot. Dale wants to know if filling out the application is the first step or the only step. After they fill it out, what happens? For the class? Yeah, for the workshop, I think.
It's not the only step. In order to get it for free, you need your principal to sign off, and you send me a letter that has their sign in. Actually, you know what? I can open this. So there's the explanation of the course, and we do send you the materials. It does ask you to set up a free account on Pathfinder's homepage. You need to do that in order to get it for free. And then we're collecting some information so we can send you stuff, and yeah, data collection. This is the acceptance letter. You hit make a copy and you can download it or print it or have them do it online. It doesn't matter to me. I'm the one that's looking through these things. And then most of this is all just who you are, where you are, what do you teach. And at the very bottom, you have the choices of dates. It is a 7-week session. 2.5 hours ish. I say ish because I think what we'll do is make some of that 2.5 hours every week office hours so that people can come ask questions. You guys already have a head start because we would start with what we were doing today. We would go into it a little bit more. There is more reading than what we've had time to do, looking at the educator's guide and so on and so forth. So that's it. Yeah.
Well, I think you've given us some awesome resources to get started. I love the educator's guide and the slide deck you shared. Folks, if you want to get some supplies, fill out some grants from TRSA. I know Barbie's done that. Stephanie's gotten grants from us as well. So get some free money out there.
Grants are great.
Yeah.
Love them. All right, guys. Again, I'm Susan at Chibitronics.com. Questions? Can I share the link to the page with the Chibi art project? Yeah, you know what? Let me show you what I do, because I will lose it. I type in G's name, JIEQI, dandelion, DAN, there it comes up. As you see, I've done it multiple times. There is her. I should have gone here to begin with because this is coming up much better than it was coming up. There we go. But I can share, allow, and share, and get out of here and put it in chat. That should do it. There's one more that I want to show you, and I think it's on, it is on the website. If we go to, I think it's in blog. I just think this is a cute, well, there are two cute things here. I'm working with, well, there's Sheila Lee's, yeah, there is the STEAM Educator's Guide. This magical magnetic wand uses a reed sensor, and a reed sensor has a little magnet in it. So the magnet is in both the end of that wand, and there's the reed sensor there. And when the magnet gets close enough, it closes the circuit. So yeah, there's that. And then there's a really adorable one. Actually, there are a lot of ideas here. I stumbled through them, and if I could just think of what, yeah. Where is it? There's a Halloween one that's adorable. Why am I not coming up with it? Well, you guys will have to look through here. There's one called The Haunted House. I wonder if I can just do that. And then it's probably right here. Jill Dawson is wonderful.
I love that students can write their own storybooks and then light them up and illustrate them.
That's not, oh, okay, here it is. Let's see if I can get the video. So if you put your lights behind it, you can draw a picture behind, well, here, let me just show you. This is called a reveal. Yeah, go away. I didn't mean to share it. I meant to do this. So this has got a pressure sensor in it, which allows you to push and make the lights come on brighter or less or bright. She's got pictures on the back of the paper so that when you push the button, it reveals the yeah, there you go. I didn't mean to get that far that fast. It reveals the skeletons in the haunted house and the spiders, and the skeleton on the cell phone top. the creative ideas are just constantly coming. Teachers come up with some awesome things. The kids come up with some awesome things. So that's the on and off switch that you guys already used. And she's touching the headstone to make the lights come on. All right, guys, I can keep on keeping on, but I'm gonna let you go. And thank you, Kristen, for having me and putting up with me at this point. Yeah.
We really appreciate your time. I know it's later on the East Coast than it is here, so
It's all good.
thank you so much for coming, and thanks for everyone who attended. And
thank you all.
if you end up doing any projects with your kids, put them in our Facebook group page. I'd love to see what you all come up with.
And send them to me too. We collect and share, and yeah.
Oh, you can be on their gallery.
And there you go. Yeah. All right, guys.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for coming.